It is 8 p.m. and here are our top stories. President Joe Biden making unprecedented moves to relieve pain at the pump.
Your family budgets to fill a tank, none of it should hinge on whether a dictator declares war.
The president tapping strategic reserves for oil as Coloradan industries feel the pinch of high prices.
In a competitive environment, these prices, they're hurting everyone.
We take a closer look at Biden's decision and how diesel is driving inflation more than you think.
Your small fleets, your owner-operators, they're not able to recover those expenses. That's also increasing the cost of goods.
Illegal fentanyl, claiming the lives of Colorado's youngest. Shocking new data shows just what law enforcement is up against in the opioid crisis.
Plus, there must be something in the weather.
The next thing I heard was this boom! The clips on the front of the bumper, the grill were all broken.
Denver drivers plagued by potholes, but good luck getting reimbursed.
I didn't want it to happen to me, and I certainly don't want it to happen to anyone else.
And good evening to you, and thank you for watching Denver 7 News on Local 3. I'm Ann Trujillo.
I'm Danny New. The crisis in Ukraine continues to cause ripple effects over here. One being, as we all know, the price of gas and diesel.
And today the president announced a new plan designed to help people who are struggling with soaring gas prices. The U.S. will release a record amount of crude oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserves, a stockpile of 600 million barrels stored in underground salt caverns in Louisiana and Texas. He's also putting pressure on oil companies to increase supplies.
This is not the time to sit on record profits. It's time to step up for the good of your country, the good of the world, to invest in immediate production that we need.
The national average for gas price is hovering around $4.20 per gallon. Colorado's average sits at $3.99.
And tapping deeper into the reserve is expected to have a limited effect on prices in the short term, which can be bad news for businesses that rely on gas and diesel.
And you can bet those costs are being handed down to the consumer. And Denver 7 CB Cotton breaks down what this could mean for the Colorado industries and because they are struggling to keep up.
And they certainly are. And people in the trucking industry tell me the past couple of years have brought a lot of setbacks. First, it was the COVID-19 pandemic, and this year it's now the price of fuel. Many of us know gas prices have increased over the past month. Meanwhile, truckers tell us they've been watching the price of their diesel fuel skyrocket. According to AAA, the average cost of diesel fuel right now is a little more than $5. Just 3 weeks ago, the national average was around $4.90. So you can see that steady increase. And industry experts say trucking companies will have to pass higher cost on to retailers, and retailers will then pass them on to shoppers. Jason Emery, CEO of XL Driver Services in Henderson, tells us because of the increased cost, he's had to raise tuition for his students who are working towards their commercial driver's license.
We've been forced to increase in the range of 10 to 20%. We're doing everything we can to not have to increase that price again.
Now, trucking isn't the only industry feeling impacts of rising fuel prices. Colorado farmers are too. We'll have more on that coming up on Denver 7 News at 10. Ann?
Looking forward to it. Thank you, CB. A jury has come back with a guilty verdict for the man who shot at this blue Jeep as it drove through an Elijah McClain protest on I-225 back in 2020. Stray bullets from Samuel Young's gun hit 2 bystanders. Both survived. Well, the jury found Young guilty on second-degree assault charges, as well as 4 counts of attempted manslaughter, and he will be sentenced in May.
Fentanyl tragically took the lives of 3 young Coloradans who, frankly, never should have had access to it. 31-year-old Alonzo Montoya and 30-year-old Nicole Cassius have been arrested after their 1-year-old daughter died as a result of ingesting fentanyl. The Adams County coroner says a little girl's blood contained 10 times the amount of fentanyl needed to kill an adult. And then in Lakewood, an Alameda International High School student died after an accidental overdose from taking a drug laced with fentanyl. Her name was Kimberly Jimenez Figueroa, and her family says that they are sharing her story to try and help others who may be struggling. Currently, though, Lakewood police are still investigating what exactly happened. And just into our newsroom, a 17-year-old boy from Highlands Ranch was found dead Tuesday morning from an apparent overdose. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office believe it also might have been caused by fentanyl.
And deadly overdoses caused by fentanyl have skyrocketed in our state and across the country in these past few years. And now a new study from the DEA is shining light on just how widespread this problem is. The study found the number of illicit pills containing fentanyl seized by U.S. law enforcement jumped a whopping 4,850% between the years 2018 and 2021. And the DEA says more than 42,000 fentanyl-laced pills were seized in 2018, and then nearly 2.1 million were seized in 2021. Now, a co-author of this study said widespread education is needed about pills that don't come from a pharmacy. And he said the immediate message is that any pills illegally obtained can contain fentanyl.
This has been a very Colorado March. Lots of snow, but then also it's been in the 60s a bunch of times. And that combination usually means potholes.
Yeah, it's pothole season, and hitting a pothole can do thousands of dollars in damage to your car. And the city of Denver does pay for some damages that happen on city streets, but as Denver 7's Rob Harris learned, it's rare.
Most of us will encounter our fair share of potholes on the roads this spring, but some of us, like Kenneth Thompson, will drive away with some battle scars.
I was coming around to wash my car, came from that direction, and was doing no more than 5 miles an hour. The next thing I heard was this boom! The clips on the front of the bumper, the grill were all broken.
The city of Denver lets drivers file claims for damage from potholes, but actually getting a payout is pretty rare. Between March and June of last year, out of 63 claims made to the city, only 7 resulted in a payout from the city. Denver city attorney says most claims get rejected for 2 reasons.
One, is the pothole on a street for which the city is actually responsible? Some people may think that an area is subject to city responsibility, but in fact it's a private road or a private parking lot or something like that.
The second reason a pothole claim would be denied by the city is if it hasn't had enough time to come out and fix the problem from when it was called in. Now, the question is, what's a reasonable amount of time for the city? And Bronson says that all depends.
The legal standard is a reasonable period of time to fill the pothole. There is no specific time frame that's assigned to that.
Tonight at 10, the simple thing you can do that could be the difference between a rejected or an approved claim by your neighbors. Until then, for Denver 7, I'm Rob Harris.
A class action lawsuit has been filed against Xcel Energy, claiming the company had a role in causing the Marshall Fire. Now, it's important to note here, the Boulder County Sheriff's Office said today it could still take weeks to determine what exactly caused the fire. The suit, it was filed on behalf of an unnamed couple and a Boulder company, and it claims Xcel power lines and utility equipment were factors in the cause of the fire. Now, for its part, Xcel insists its equipment is properly maintained and says it has seen zero evidence that its power lines started the fire. And we are happy to report the NCAR fire in Boulder is now 100% contained. Air Tracker 7 flew over the burn scar earlier this evening. We know that 190 acres burned.
Governor Jared Polis is backing new bills aimed at improving the air quality in Colorado and combating climate change. Lawmakers introduced those bills at the state capitol today. Most of them provide grants to companies that reduce air pollution, and projects include decommissioning diesel trucks, adding more electric school buses, and offering electric bikes to employees.
We've come a long way in our pursuit of 100% renewable energy and our effort to fight the impacts of climate change and improve air quality. And today is a package of bills that is a major step forward.
Another bill would let you ride fare-free on RTD during the entire month of August. The goal of that plan, called Fare Free Pilot Program, is to encourage people to use public transportation and to cut down on air pollution during the peak summer ozone season. In other words, she's got a ticket to ride to save some air.
Coming up on Denver 7 News at 8, from Castle Rock to the front lines.
We were watching the war in Ukraine unfold in real time, and it was extremely difficult.
A local couple joining the fight in Eastern Europe to help Ukrainian refugees escaping the war.
They're not going to be stopped by what's going on, by what the Russians are doing.
Had a nice warm day today, but this cold front means chilly weather and a chance of rain and snow.
Plus, an amazing renovation takes this home to a galaxy far, far away.
I'm floating.
how one nonprofit is making this Star Wars superfan's dreams come true.
It's really changed everything. I can be independent.